Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to give you the retrospective review of Batman 1989. In 1980, after gaining attention from a successful comic book course at the University of Indiana, Michael E. Uslan signed with DC Comics to make a dark, serious Batman film. In 1983, a script was written by Tom Mankiewicz, Superman writer, about a shape shrouded in darkness facing against a clown in the pale moonlight. This screenplay was called The Batman, a darker interpretation of the Batman mythos, while being different from the film we eventually get, but we'll get to that. This story was Batman united with his crime-fighting associate Robin, facing against the clown prince of crime himself, the Joker. I'll leave a link in the description to the screenplay below. Overall, it's a great script in my opinion that tackles the Caped Crusader in an alternative way. Dark. Michael signed on to be executive producer of The Batman, and absolutely desired to portray his favorite comic book character correctly. They pitched it to studio after studio, Universal, Columbia, etc. Every studio hated the idea of taking the Caped Crusader on the big screen seriously. Michael pitched Batman to Peter Gruber, who was fond of the idea, and gained distribution from Casablanca Pictures. Searching for a director, they went with Ivan Reitman of Ghostbusters fame. It's time to cast their Batman. They found Charlie Sheen and Bill Murray up for Batman. Yes, I did just say Bill Murray. And yes, this is a serious adaptation of Batman. I don't know what, but hey, maybe it could have been good. Eddie Murphy and Michael J. Fox were up for Robin. Then, the inevitable occurs. The project gets shut down. 4 to 5 years later, the idea, without a go-to script, was pitched by Michael and Peter, and got distribution from the same company that distributed Superman, Warner Brothers, who eventually was DC Comics' go-to distribution for another 30 years in cinema. This would be a genre-turning picture that would could alter the look of blockbusters forever. It was either going to be the biggest picture of the decade or the biggest bomb of the decade. Making Batman was a long journey. Peter Gruber describes the experience as the making of Batman was a marathon. It was not a sprint. He's saying that at every turn there was a wall blocking the picture from being a success. From casting, budget, to even stress, this was a hard shoot. Becoming the fate of blockbuster cinema was in their hands. It was time to find a director. They found Tim Burton, who worked at Disney at the time and was shooting a new picture for Warner Brothers, Beetlejuice. If Beetlejuice went on to be a success, Tim would get the job. Sure enough, it was, and Tim was on board with Michael and Peter. The only script in their hands was Tom Mankiewicz's draft, and Sam Hamm was brought on board to look at it. The final draft was so different, you could call 1983's The Batman a canceled picture. Sam Hamm wanted the Batman job so bad, and he wrote an amazing draft that would go on to turn the genre on its head. There was no Robin and no supporting villains. Instead, we got a definitive story of the Dark Knight facing against the Joker. Tim eventually went with Michael Keaton to play Batman, who would go on to get tons of hate mail from fans, but showed them that he makes a great Batman. They casted Jack Nicholson as the Joker, Kim Basinger, Robert Wool, and Michael Gough as Alfred. They didn't, cast all those characters, you know what I mean. Sam's draft was then revised, and his third act would change dramatically, where Warren Scarron would write the film more psychologically, and he made the Joker be the murderer of Bruce's parents. It would go on to shoot in London to decrease the budget, and would go on to be one of the biggest films ever made. Personally, I love Batman. I think it's the best Batman movie we got, and the best story we got containing the character. It's my favorite Batman film. The scope of Gotham is so brilliant and gloomy and dark, and the character is so nuanced. Batman would change Hollywood forever. Now, after seeing first weekend results, every concern of Batman being a flop was gone. It was out of the question. Batman would go on to be one of the biggest success stories in Hollywood, breaking numbers, breaking records. It's incredible. And I think part of it's because of the marketing technique that was involved. I believe Batman's marketing was one of the best marketings ever. They didn't really need a poster, they just needed that bat emblem on bus stops just to get people to be persuaded into seeing the movie. People were robbing bus stops just to get the poster. The trailer is very engaging and intriguing, and it makes you want to see how this shape shrouded in darkness faces against this maniac. I think Batman is a genre-turning picture, and it's a film that I put in my DVD player more often than not.